Welcome to Explore with Adam. Today we are diving into the ancient aliens theory.
Oh, this is a fun one.
It really is. This theory suggests that extraterrestrials visited Earth in the past and, well, kind of influenced human history.
Think about it, like ancient civilizations creating these architectural wonders that still just baffle us even today.
Right. And then there's all these stories of gods, descending from the sky.
And mysterious artifacts that seem too advanced for their time.
It's really no surprise that this theory has captivated our imaginations for so long. I got to say, some of the evidence is pretty compelling.
Yeah, I agree. What's fascinating is that this theory isn't just like a fringe idea.
Right?
It's woven into our popular culture.
Everywhere.
Yeah, you see it in books, documentaries, TV shows like Ancient Aliens.
Oh yeah, Ancient Aliens, a classic.
The question of whether we're alone in the universe is a fundamental one. I think the Ancient Aliens theory really taps into that primal curiosity.
It really makes you question what we know about our past. One of the figures who really brought these ideas into the public eye was Erich von Däniken with his 1968 book, Chariots of the Gods,
Chariots of the Gods, yeah.
a classic.
Yes, von Däniken's work was a game changer, really. He argued that a lot of these ancient structures and artifacts were evidence of extraterrestrial influence.
Okay, so like what?
He pointed to things like the pyramids of Giza,
Oh yeah,
Stonehenge,
of course.
and the Nazca Lines, structures that seem almost impossible to have been built with the technology that we assume ancient civilizations had.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling, isn't it? To think about those massive stone blocks, the precise alignments with, celestial bodies. It makes you wonder, how could they have achieved such feats without, like, some kind of advanced help?
Exactly, exactly. And von Däniken wasn't the first one to propose these kinds of ideas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, earlier thinkers like Helena Blavatsky and Charles Fort they also explored the concept of extraterrestrial influence on human history. But, von Däniken's book, it really just ignited the public's imagination.
Yeah, I think so. Got people thinking about this in a new way. So let's look at some of the specific evidence that ancient alien theorists often cite.
Okay.
One example that comes to mind is the Nazca Lines in Peru,
Oh, yeah.
these enormous geoglyphs, which are drawings etched into the desert. You can only see them from the air.
Right.
How could ancient people have created something so massive and intricate without being able to see it from above?
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine any explanation other than they had help from, someone up there.
Right. The Nazca Lines are really enigmatic. Some theorists suggest they were created as landing strips or messages for extraterrestrial visitors. It's a captivating idea. Imagine these ancient people looking up at the sky, witnessing these incredible spacecraft, and trying to communicate with them through these massive earthworks.
It really gives you chills thinking about it.
It does.
Now, another piece of evidence is ancient artifacts. Take the Antikythera mechanism. This ancient Greek device is so complex, it's been called the world's first computer.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's made of intricate gears and could track the movements of celestial bodies with remarkable accuracy.
Wow.
And this was built around 200 BCE. It's just wild to think about.
The Antikythera mechanism is truly a testament to the ingenuity of ancient civilizations, but its complexity, it really raises questions. Did the ancient Greeks develop this technology independently, or could they have received help from a more advanced source?
Right.
It's not really that far-fetched to think they may have had outside help. Some theorists believe it's evidence of knowledge being shared by extraterrestrial visitors.
That kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Here's another artifact that sparks a lot of debate. The Baghdad Battery.
Okay.
This collection of clay pots, copper tubes, and iron rods dating back to ancient Mesopotamia, it resembles a primitive battery. If it was indeed a battery, it suggests that ancient people had knowledge of electricity, which we typically don't associate with those times. So who taught them?
It's a good question. The Baghdad Battery is definitely a puzzle. While some researchers believe it could have been used for electroplating or some other practical purpose, others see it as evidence of more advanced knowledge than we give ancient civilizations credit for.
Right.
Who could have taught them about electricity? It's a question that fuels the ancient alien theory.
Let's move on to another intriguing aspect of this theory, the interpretation of ancient myths and religious texts. Many cultures have stories of gods descending from the sky, performing incredible feats, and interacting with humans. Could these stories be more than just mythology?
Right.
Could they be actual accounts of alien encounters passed down through generations? What if our ancient ancestors weren't making up fantastical stories, but recording what they were actually seeing?
This is where things get really interesting. For example, the ancient Sumerians had stories of the Anunnaki,
Yes, the Anunnaki.
a group of deities who came down from the heavens and created humans.
Wow.
Some theorists believe these stories are not just mythology, but actual historical accounts of extraterrestrial beings visiting Earth and shaping our civilization.
Right, and then there are the Hindu Vimanas, described in ancient texts like the Mahabharata, which were flying palaces or chariots said to be capable of traveling vast distances. I mean, could these be descriptions of advanced spacecraft?
It's certainly possible. These ancient texts, they offer tantalizing clues. They describe beings with incredible powers, technologies beyond our understanding, and events that seem to just defy explanation. Could they be more than just imaginative storytelling? It's a question that continues to intrigue those who believe in the possibility of ancient aliens.
And it's not just ancient myths, right? Even some religious texts are interpreted as potential evidence of alien encounters. One example often cited is Ezekiel's vision in the Bible. He describes a wheel within a wheel, accompanied by strange beings and a whirlwind. Some theorists see this as a clear description of a spacecraft. If you really think about it, what else could he have been describing?
That's a great point. It's important to remember that interpretations of these texts can vary widely. Mainstream scholars often view them as symbolic or metaphorical, not literal descriptions of alien encounters. But for those who subscribe to the ancient alien theory, these texts offer tantalizing hints of extraterrestrial involvement in human history.
Oh,
And let's be honest, sometimes those literal interpretations just make a lot more sense. And let's not forget the artwork.
all right.
If we look at ancient art and iconography, we often see depictions of strange beings, unusual objects, and scenes that are really hard to explain conventionally.
You're talking about things like those ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs that some people interpret as helicopters and airplanes.
Exactly. While mainstream Egyptologists offer alternative interpretations, those images certainly fuel the imagination of ancient alien enthusiasts.
Okay, so with all this intriguing evidence, why isn't the ancient alien theory more widely accepted by the scientific community? What's holding them back?
Well, science values concrete, physical proof that can be tested and verified. And, while there are so many mysteries about our past, most scientists say that we're lacking that definitive proof of alien visitation.
So are they basically saying, show me the spaceship before they'll even consider the possibility?
Pretty much. They argue that the evidence presented by ancient alien theorists is often based on speculation and interpretation.
So what are some of the specific counterarguments that scientists use to debunk the theory?
Well, one of the biggest arguments is that we tend to underestimate the capabilities of ancient humans.
Okay.
We assume they were less intelligent than us, but in reality, they were incredibly resourceful and innovative. Given enough time and manpower, they could have achieved some remarkable feats.
So instead of attributing things like the pyramids to aliens, scientists are suggesting that ancient humans were capable of figuring out how to build them on their own.
Exactly. They point to evidence of sophisticated engineering techniques, their knowledge of astronomy and mathematics, and their ability to organize large-scale construction projects.
For example, engineers have demonstrated how the Egyptians could have used ramps, levers, and rollers to move and lift those massive stone blocks for the pyramids. I guess it would have been incredibly difficult, but maybe not impossible.
Right. And as for the Antikythera mechanism, as amazing as it is, it doesn't necessarily prove alien intervention. We know the ancient Greeks made great advancements in mathematics, astronomy, and engineering. It's possible, I suppose, that they could have developed such a device on their own.
What about all the ancient myths and religious texts? Do scientists have alternative explanations for those?
They do. One argument is that these stories are symbolic and metaphorical, not meant to be taken literally.
Yeah.
They often reflect ancient beliefs and explanations for the natural world.
So, for instance, the story of the Great Flood, which appears in many cultures around the world, could be a way of explaining a major natural event that happened in the past, rather than a literal worldwide flood.
Exactly. And stories about gods descending from the sky could be symbolic representations of powerful forces of nature, like the sun or storms, not literal beings coming down to Earth.
So instead of seeing these stories as evidence of alien encounters, some scientists are suggesting they were just ancient humans' way of trying to understand the world around them.
Yes, that's one way to look at it. They argue that we shouldn't apply our modern understanding of science and technology to ancient cultures. What might seem like evidence of alien influence to us could have had a completely different meaning to people living thousands of years ago.
It's tricky, right? It all boils down to interpretation.
Absolutely. And that's precisely why the ancient alien theory is still so hotly debated. There's no simple answer, and both sides make compelling arguments.
But even if we put aside the debate about ancient aliens, isn't it still possible that other intelligent life exists out there somewhere in the universe?
That's a question that scientists are actively trying to answer. With the vastness of the universe and the discovery of all these planets orbiting stars outside our solar system, the possibility of extraterrestrial life is becoming more and more plausible.
So maybe, just maybe, we haven't been alone after all. That brings us right back to the core of the ancient alien theory.
It does. It taps into that deep human desire to connect with something beyond ourselves, to explore the unknown and to imagine the possibilities.
It seems like even if the specific claims of ancient alien theorists haven't been scientifically proven, the theory itself raises some huge questions about humanity's place in the universe.
Definitely. It makes us wonder if they've been here before. Are they out there watching us now? And could we one day actually make contact with other intelligent beings?
These questions have fascinated people for centuries, and they're still driving our exploration of space and our search for answers about life and the universe. And maybe, with each new discovery, we're getting closer to uncovering the truth about our past and our place in the cosmos.
And let's not forget the artwork.
The artwork, yeah.
If we look at ancient art and iconography, we often see depictions of strange beings,
Right.
unusual objects, and scenes that are really hard to explain conventionally.
You're talking about things like those ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs that some people interpret as helicopters and airplanes.
Exactly.
It's pretty hard to deny the resemblance.
Exactly. While mainstream Egyptologists offer alternative interpretations, those images certainly fuel the imagination of ancient alien enthusiasts.
Yeah, and for good reason, I'd say.
Right.
It seems like even if the specific claims of ancient alien theorists haven't been scientifically proven, the theory itself raises some huge questions about humanity's place in the universe.
Definitely, it makes us wonder if they've been here before, are they out there watching us now?
Right.
And could we one day actually make contact with other intelligent beings?
These questions have fascinated people for centuries, and they're still driving our exploration of space and our search for answers about life in the universe. And maybe with each new discovery, we're getting closer to uncovering the truth about our past and our place in the cosmos.
Yeah, it really is amazing to think about all the possibilities out there. There's that famous quote, "The universe is a pretty big place. If it's just us, seems like an awful waste of space."
Oh, I love that quote.
It's a good one.
And even if ancient civilizations weren't directly influenced by aliens, their accomplishments are still mind-blowing. Think about it, like building massive pyramids,
Yeah.
intricate temples, these complex systems of writing and math, all without the technology that we have today.
It makes you realize how much we still don't know about our own past and, what humans are truly capable of.
I agree. The ancient alien theory, whether you believe it or not, it makes us think about some pretty big questions.
It really does.
It challenges everything we think we know about history, technology, and even human potential.
So where do we go from here? What are the big takeaways from our deep dive into the ancient aliens theory? I think the most important takeaway is to be both skeptical and open-minded.
Okay.
It's easy to get caught up in the intrigue, but it's crucial to look at the evidence carefully and consider different perspectives.
Right. We've seen that there's a lot of interesting evidence. Ancient structures that seem impossible for the time,
Right.
mysterious artifacts and myths and texts that could be interpreted as accounts of alien encounters.
But at the same time, we have to acknowledge the counterarguments from mainstream science. They emphasize things like human ingenuity and the importance of understanding ancient cultures on their own terms.
So as captivating as the ancient aliens theory is, we have to remember that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And so far, that definitive proof of alien visitation is still missing.
But even without concrete proof, the theory sparks our curiosity and sense of wonder. It reminds us that there's still so much we don't know about our past and our place in the universe.
It seems like the ancient aliens theory is more than just a fringe idea. It reflects our endless fascination with the unknown,
Right.
our desire to explore, and our quest to understand where we fit in the grand scheme of things.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe one day we'll uncover that undeniable proof that changes everything. But until then, the debate will go on
Right.
and the mystery will endure.
That's what keeps it so fascinating, isn't it? Well, this deep dive has given us a lot to ponder. If you're interested in this topic, I encourage you to keep exploring, keep asking questions, and always be open to new possibilities.
After all, the most incredible stories are often the ones we haven't uncovered yet.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.